Hey, Viola Rules here, and welcome back to Bravely Second in Lair. So we're going through Vampire Castle, or the Hall of Truth, or Tower of Truth, whatever, but Yoko's given us a challenge to face our demons. We learned about, we got the diary entries for Yu's, father contributing to creating the Great Plague, which actually, let's read the documents. Unorthodoxy, 2377, February 21st. We were met at the port by a young girl. By all accounts, she is the granddaughter of our holy patron, who arranged for our entire fleet of ships. Her age, pedigree, and the quickness of her mind all recommend her. What do you mean by that? August 16th. I moved the spirit within the girl's body, but it would take us 3 months to move all the abundant riches within the shrine to the shore, and a further 2 months to have it all ready for transport on the ships. The statue of Cuchulainn alone, which the Orthodoxy wishes to claim for their own treasury, weighs so heavily upon the ship chosen to bear it that it seems likely to sink. November 1st. Reports tell us that the exorcist Geist dispatched to us by the Orthodoxy seems to have set out from a neighboring nation. Thanks to my spies within the church, I can now see clearly what it is my enemies have in mind. It is the one they call the Wise Man who remains so resolutely against our fleet's return home. Oh, I just realized that there are multiple pages to each one. Sorry. Let me go back to the first one. Her age, pedigree, and quickness of her mind all recommend her. Our orders from the church are to locate, explore, and report on the ancient shrine of legend said to lie in this thick wood. Not all were pleased by my appointment, yet when they heard that I had located the shrine in mere weeks, oh how the pretty songbirds did change their tunes. It was not divine providence that led us here, nor even the power of the crystals. I knew the location of the ancient shrine before ever we set sail. Founder, the first head of the great Genioja family, left clear precipice behind him upon his passing. These rules are dying to preserve the family's position and influence among the Orthodoxy, or so it would seem. Yet that was not the true purpose of the last edicts we have inherited. An admonition on how to be an admirable ruler is not all Founder left for his progeny. I decoded the secret messages couched within Founder's final testament. There I discovered the true Founder, and while it took over a dozen years, my preparations now come to bear fruit. The exploratory mission has been approved, and we are set to discover the ancient shrine. Okay. August 16th. It was no sooner than our fleet departed that our young guest fell ill. The girl came down with a sudden fever of unknown origins. Her grandfather, our financer, is against us sailing on, and will not be persuaded by me, though I have spent many days trying to get him to see reason. I sense that we are being manipulated by some force within the shadows. I made my plea to the church's upper echelon, begging leave to transport the girl and her goods back home, but I fear my enemies struck there as well. The heads of the church, unable or unwilling to give me a direct answer, have decreed that some exorcists be sent out to meet us. Geist, a man popular with the masses, has been tasked with exorcising the evil spirits from the girl. And must we then wait to see the outcome of his ceremony? Is there some compromise meant to appease those of us who wish to set sail while allowing those in power to measure up the ones who would oppose us? Regardless of what the church wants, the winds are beginning to blow once more. November 1st. Reports tell us that the exorcist Geist, dispatched to us by the Orthodoxy, seems to have set out from a neighboring nation. Thanks to my spies within the church, I can now see clearly what it is my enemies have in mind. It is the one they call the Wise Man who remains so resolutely against our fleet's return home. Those who are hostile to myself are likely colluding with the intellectuals at the Office of Public Health. Their combined influence is not to be underestimated. I may be the leader of the Genioja family, which has so long stood at the helm of the Crystal Guard, but I know that I am being mocked as being an ambitious man. And the compassionate man who leads our fleet, the very financier who is so distressed about the girl's condition, has been another central figure in the argument over whether to move the girl or not. I suppose our current pope is the one they refer to as the merciful man. And the covetous men? There is no telling how many there are, nor where they are. At any event, both those for and those against moving the girl will be watching Geist's progress with bated breath. And, well, he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Or he couldn't. I don't know. I remember him saying something that he could have lifted the plague, but he didn't for some reason. But anyway, on to the next floor, where there are 2 chests. Okay, so let's see what's down here. Stopwatch. Okay. Ah, another Inopu mushroom. Cool. Okay, so let's see what this picture has in it.
It took you long enough. Did you read your father's log?
Yes, we did.
No matter. It is time you learned the second truth. This is the tale of the sinful ruling.
Okay, so it's related to Idia, I suppose.
The wise men opposed to moving the young girl hoped that the ritual performed by the exorcist Geist would delay her departure. This would prevent the plague from spreading. But the ambitious man and covetous man were impatient and tried to foil their plan. Still, they could not stop Geist from reporting the girl's condition to the church's Office of Public Health. Upon receiving the report, the Office of Public Health ordered the girl quarantined and barred from further travel. Regrettably, it did not end there. The covetous man within the church appealed to the merciful man. The church should use their vaunted medicine to treat the girl, said he. And the ambitious man appealed to the loving man. The poor girl deserves the finest treatment the church can offer, said he. And so it came to pass. The merciful man and the compassionate man changed their minds. They ordered that the fleet be allowed to sail. And so the ships, with their treasure and the ailing child in tow, unfurled their sails and set a course for distant Gathalatio. The fleet berthed at many towns along the way, unwittingly sowing the seeds of death at every port of call. Only when they landed on their third continent did dire tidings reach the ears of the sailors. The first port they had docked at was in the grip of a terrible plague. Faced with a crisis and with morale low, Greed, your father made a decision. He gave every sailor in the fleet a flagon of rum, rum filled with poison. The men died, one after the next. Their ships, their treasure, the poor girl and her dear grandfather, all were swallowed by the waves. Perhaps the church had ordered that Eternia alone be spared. Who can say for sure?
Wow.
What we do know is that Greed, and Greed alone, made a triumphant return to Gathalatio. Though he had lost nearly his entire fleet, he had salvaged treasure enough to fill the church's coffers. He became a man of great standing in the church's hierarchy, and the very next year was blessed with his firstborn son.
Danny, my brother.
Yes. It was not long after this that the dark hand of the plague came to Eternia. But here, why not read for yourself your father's words? You have faced 2 truths. Have you the courage to face another? I await you in the halls above.
Wow. Let's take a look at the log. December 4th. A list has been produced of all the parties who cannot be brought to our side. The elders and their ilk, all avowed to their unimpeachable morals, do not even recognize that their desperate desire to remain clean-handed is still a form of desire, of greed. They are nothing more than old fools. They need not be heeded. No, the issue lies with the ones who have no interest in profits, who refuse our temptations, cleaving instead to their own firm principles and ideals. I do not know him personally, but this young bishop, Brave, as well as Norzen, the head of research at the Office of Public Health, they and their fellows do not give me cause for concern. I am ordering a thorough report of their history so that I can determine the proper price to guarantee their assistance. Okay, so it sounds like he did bribe Idia's father and Professor Norzen in the end. March 17th. A letter arrived from the Pope. The ruling has come back in our favor, the best possible outcome we could hope for. The Pope has determined that the girl will be moved to Cathladio. Geist had carried on with his holy rites, and none could fault his dedication. I will say that for the man. Despite all our demands that he bring the exorcism to a hasty end, he carried on indifferently, keeping those interfering fools abreast of every detail that his cunning eyes noticed. For I am sure of it, Geist has been reporting to the wise man from my homeland. So I began to work upon the covetous men of the nation. Those within the church, those within the Office of Public Health, every last man with a shred of avarice in him was drawn to our aid. Next, I feigned sympathy with the wise men who were against moving the girl to my homeland. The girl is afflicted with some febrile pestilence, so I insisted that she need to be brought to the seat of the Orthodoxy, home to the most advanced healing arts in the world. By doing so, I was successful in convincing the compassionate man as well. My maneuvering of the covetous men, my careful plans devised from within the Orthodoxy, it was these, as well as the pleas of the compassionate man and the merciful man acquiescing, which won us our ruling. The ones who lost this day will carry on about what a sinful decision it was, but once we set sail, no one will be able to stop us. Geist, a man who only exists by the grace of the Orthodoxy, looked so very at a loss. He had been sent out by the church's orders, and now he was forced to cut the ritual short by that same church's orders. He bid the girl a courteous farewell, and then turned for home and hearth, as now do I. January 5th. The fleet, weighed down by our great load, makes slow progress. It has taken us 10 months to reach the eternal vortex. The girl is protected by her grandfather and ensconced in a special crafted pleasure boat meant for royalty, cushioned from the vagaries of the waves. What reports do reach us on the ship I helm tell us that she is still suffering from a high fever. Our first landfall was when we pulled in at an unscheduled port to weather a sudden storm, but we have been able to continue our journey without any further unanticipated stops. We did lose 3 of our ships to pirates who have attacked on 2 separate occasions, but our losses remain relatively light. And that's it. Okay, let's continue. Okay, I had a couple of fights with the Guzzlers, which did put silence and blind and all that on Idia. I already got rid of it. Okay, so one of the Patissier crafting items I can't hold. Oh, that was the only treasure on this floor. Okay. Let me just take a look at the bestiary real quick. Cerberus is almost complete. Okay, I need a few more of those as well. We'll figure out what this truth is in the next episode. I'm going to also complete the bestiary entries off screen between this episode and the next one. So yeah, look forward to that. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like. Also be sure to like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter, as well as support my Patreon and check out my reaction channel. All those links will be in the description below. And subscribe for more. If you are subscribed or a new subscriber right now, be sure to hit that bell icon so you're notified when I upload videos. This is Viola Rules, signing off. Talk to you later.